47 prepares for mass deportations, while Democrat mayors and governors prepare to defy him. Will this mean civil war? Denver Mayor Mike Johnston says he is willing to go to jail to protect illegal aliens from Trump's deportation crackdown. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston has declared his willingness to defy federal law and face jail time to protect illegal aliens, including those with criminal records, from President-elect Donald Trump's promised deportation efforts. Johnston, who is doubling down on his sanctuary city agenda, openly encouraged protests and even civil disobedience, framing his resistance as a moral crusade. During a recent interview with the Denverite, Johnston unveiled his audacious plan to transform Denver into what he called a, quote, fortress of resistance against federal immigration efforts. His strategy includes mobilizing Denver police officers and thousands of residents to form human barricades to block federal authorities from carrying out deportations.
About civil disobedience, you've mentioned that a couple of times now. Would you be willing to participate in those as the mayor of Denver? Would you be willing to go out and protest these things?
I would. If I believe that our residents are having their rights violated, if I think things are happening that are illegal or immoral or un-American in our city, I would certainly protest it, and I would expect other residents would do the same.
Trump's new borders czar, Tom Homan, has said that he is willing to arrest leaders like yourself for standing in the way of these policies that they want to enact. Would you be willing to go to jail for these things?
Yeah, I'm not afraid of that. And I'm also not seeking that. I think the goal is we want to be able to negotiate with reasonable people how to solve hard problems. Republican and Democratic presidents in the past have all tried to find solutions to these problems. President Reagan helped people get access to work so they could stay and support themselves. Biden and Harris worked on restricting entry at the border to close down. There are a lot of ways to approach this problem. We don't think it has to come to this. But yeah, I think when you look at, Ralph Carr has always been one of my heroes. He was the governor who in the middle of the internment of Japanese Americans said this was the wrong thing to do. And he stood up. It was unpopular. People were mad at him about it. That was in the middle of wartime. If the president or any of his actors are going to do things that we think are illegal or immoral or un-American, we'll stand up against those.
Well, then lock him up. He's going to jail. And everybody else that wants to aid and abet and protect criminals in the United States of America, it is violating federal law to come into this country illegally. And number two, they're not Americans. These people are not citizens. They don't have American citizenship. What rights are you talking about? It doesn't matter what you think is illegal or legal. They came here illegally, so they got to go. They chose to break our laws. Number three, yes, all the violent criminals, they got to go. We're going to be protecting these people, saying that they're residents and they're Americans and they have a right to be here. But also, the women and the children, they got to go too. You want to know why? Because this is a replacement migration agenda. And these people are here to replace you. They're here to replace me. They're here to replace your kids, your kids' kids, your kids' kids' kids, to make sure and ensure that the Democrat Party has voters for the next 50 to 80 years, to turn U.S. elections into California-styled rigged elections for the next 50 to 80 years. So yes, they all have to go. And these communist coalitions continue to unify as Trump gets ready for mass deportations. You see this in Arizona, even from Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs, who has vowed to defy Trump administration's mass deportation policies as well. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs declared that Arizona will not comply with President Trump's promised mass deportation policies. She claims she is open to working with Trump's administration, but only if mass deportation plans are off the table. Ironically, one of the most effective tools to reduce illegal crossings and protect American lives.
Trump has promised that he would carry out mass deportations on day one of his presidency. Your state is estimated to have 250,000 undocumented immigrants. Some Democrats in your state, like Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego, say that she wouldn't allow police to be used to carry out this plan. Would you, as governor, allow state police and National Guard to carry out mass deportations?
We will not be participating in misguided efforts that harm our communities, and I've been incredibly clear about that.
So you disagree with mass deportations and the fact that the president-elect says that's what he's going to be working on day one?
Well, I think that those efforts are going to divert needed resources that we need here on these drug interdiction and smuggling and trafficking efforts to keep harm out of our communities. We need those resources here, and the coming here today and seeing this operation firsthand just underscores that working in partnership here is how we can best secure the border.
What would worry you the most, Governor, about mass deportations?
Well, I think the diversion of law enforcement from the work that they do every day to keep our communities safe. People hiding in fear. We saw that under previous state policies here, and it harms communities. It tears families apart, and that's not gonna happen on my watch.
Talk about an airhead. But on a serious note, this is going to create civil war scenarios. These governors, these mayors, they will instruct their police chiefs, where the police chiefs will instruct police departments to resist these military assets and these specialized ICE units that President Trump will deploy across the United States of America to target illegal aliens for mass deportations. Police departments, police officers, even sheriffs will have to take a side. They will have to make a decision. You're either going to side with the U.S. Constitution or you're going to side with these illegal operations and these communist traitors. The choice is yours. And to make matters worse, the mainstream media is already sympathizing for violent illegal alien murderers such as Jose Ibarra that murdered Laken Riley. MSNBC complains illegal alien who brutally murdered Laken Riley never stood a chance at trial, and the judge cut him no breaks. MSNBC appeared to express some degree of sympathy for the murderer of Laken Riley. Jose Antonio Ibarra, an illegal alien from Venezuela, was convicted on multiple counts this week for the brutal murder of the Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. Ibarra has since been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, along with other consecutive sentences, including crimes of aggravated assault with intent to rape. However, MSNBC appears discontent at the outcome of the trial, complaining that Ibarra never stood a chance at trial. So the original headline MSNBC put out in it went astronomically viral. Joe Rogan himself pointed this out. Originally stated, Laken Riley's killer never stood a chance. For all the political controversy surrounding Jose Ibarra, the outcome of this trial was never in doubt. The network's legal analyst wrote in an article on Thursday, Riley's murder became a political rallying cry at this summer's Republican National Convention because Ibarra entered the country illegally in 2022. But for all the political controversy, the outcome of this trial was never in doubt. The verdict was going to be guilty. The sentence was going to be life without parole. For the defense, this was a hopeless case. The defense did the best it could with bad facts. It almost surely knew it was going to lose. That's probably why it requested a bench judge-only trial instead of a jury trial. The writer on MSNBC went on to point out that the judge cut him no breaks. The backlash was so bad that MSNBC updated quietly the title of the article and changed it to "The Guilt of Laken Riley's Killer Was Never in Doubt." Who do they sympathize with? The illegal alien. The murderer, the rapist, not the victim, not the American. Unfortunately, this open border massacre continues as we await the inauguration of 47 to initiate mass deportations. Illegal alien arrested for raping 14-year-old girl in Denver. 20-year-old Jesus Alberto was arrested and charged for raping a minor teen girl in Denver. He is believed to have illegally entered the United States by way of El Paso, Texas, under, you guessed it, the Biden-Harris administration in September 2023 according to the Daily Wire. On August 29th, 2024, at about 11 p.m., deputies responded to a South Jefferson County residence on a sexual assault investigation. The illegal alien's employer owns the residence and was temporarily staying in the basement of the home. At around 10:30 that evening, the illegal alien forced himself on the 14-year-old daughter of the homeowner, sexually assaulting her. He left the residence before deputies arrived, Jefferson County Sheriff said, and there is the mugshot of the illegal alien piece of garbage rapist. Brought to you by the Biden-Harris administration. You see, people think they could be compassionate with these people. They think they're here for a better life. They think they're here for a better future. And we just need to give them an opportunity. That's all they want. No. You give them an opportunity, they're going to rape your daughter right behind your back. These people come from very violent regions of the world. All they know is kill or be killed. All they know is let me rape you or you die. That is how they're raised from a very young age. And when you come into contact with these people, it is a very, very violent experience to the point of death. I suspect as mass deportations initiate, you'll see a lot more high-speed pursuit chases. You'll see hostage situations. You'll probably see apartment complexes that have been overtaken by illegal aliens, maybe possibly explode and blow up in defense. Because these illegal aliens, these are cartels that are very violent and they will oppose these military assets and these specialized ICE units. There will be shootouts. There will be a lot of violent situations. But you know what? This is why it needs to happen. These people have to go. The violent criminals have to go. The criminals that have broken our laws, yes, the women and the children, they all have to go together as well. Because again, let me reiterate this. Don't get soft. They're all here to replace you. Whether they kill you or whether someday, somewhere down the line, they're all given mass amnesty and they become voters and they vote for Democrats rigging elections for the next 80 years, like California. That will happen if they don't all go. So don't get soft. It's time to get the job done. My name is Drew Hernandez for the Gateway Pundit. You have been on watch with Drew Hernandez. I'll see you guys on the next one.